done over the years is everybody that we hire, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
it might be somebody that's great in copy or with Google or whatever we're doing, we try to find somebody that's an expert. Amount of people that came through in 1 month, like the graph was crazy.
Okay. So,
Who does Twitter
yeah.
ads? And he showed some data that blew me away.
Hello, guys. Welcome. Today, I have the man who is famous for his beard, aka the beard guy. Today, I have Norm Farrar with me. Hi, Norm. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, Norm, I have been following you since like 2017, and since then, it's became like a upside downside for me, up and down. I've been trying to grow my beard by taking the motivation from you, but it looks like I need more tips. So obviously, we'll have to do a separate episode completely on this particular topic. Right now, I
Sure.
have plenty of questions that I need to shoot to you with a lot of changes in Amazon, new strategies. I've been looking at your videos that you're posting. I mean, those things need to be shared to the rest of the audience as well. So, first question, like you have been training a lot of experienced sellers now with your coachings and all. So, what do you think now with Amazon's recent changes? What are the most common problem you are seeing that sellers are making?
You know, it's going to sound funny, but they're
Okay.
not expanding off of Amazon. So that's probably my biggest concern with all the changes that I see every year from Amazon. People aren't looking to explore other networks or other paths. Uh, it happens all the time where you do nothing wrong. I have this with one of my products, nothing wrong.
Mhm.
All of a sudden it gets taken down, and it could be a week. I've had one that I could never get back up again. I had to abandon it. It just never came back. And that was, 2 years in the making of trying to talk to
Okay.
Amazon. They just treated me like garbage. But I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody, but you have to be prepared. So that's the biggest challenge in 2022 is just having a game plan. We just call it risk management. So, going over to Walmart has made it extremely, extremely easy. You answer 3 questions or 4 questions
Mhm.
on the Walmart platform and you get accepted. But the other thing when we talk specifically about Amazon is you want to take a look. Inventory management is everything. We're going into Prime Day and fourth quarter. We're in fourth quarter now. If you don't have the proper controls on your inventory, that's a problem. If you don't
Mhm.
have the proper cash flow going into the fourth quarter, that's going to be a problem. And also, just a PPC strategy. If you're going to just go and blow everything on your PPC, I tell people that I was working with a company once that did $750,000 on Prime Day. It's not a bad dollar. They
Yeah.
lost money. They lost money on $750,000 in sales because
Okay.
they didn't understand it. They had the deals. They had lightning deals back then. And they had their PPC adjusted where they would be on top of everything. Like they were showing up everywhere.
Mhm.
They lost. They made no money. So what's the use of it? Unless if it's brand recognition, then that's a whole different story. But $750,000 for brand recognition and to make a loss, I
That's
wouldn't do
costly.
it. It is.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Walmart. So, how difficult it is to rank in Walmart? Is it same as Amazon, or what Amazon was when we all started? Like ranking was very easy. Now we need a lot of channels. How difficult it is?
I'm loving it. Um, it's there are different channels. There are different keyword research. So when I take a look at keyword research, I can't go to Helium 10 and just think that it's the same research as Amazon. So luckily,
Mhm.
like they have a suite of tools for Walmart specifically, and you can use that tool or that app for it. That'll really help you out. And I'll give you an example. So we sell some pet beds, or dog
Mhm.
beds. They're specifically for dogs, but cats can use them, rabbits can use them, whoever can use them. Um, but on Walmart, we could try to get dog bed all day long to rank. And when we went and researched what was happening, why weren't we selling dog beds, which was obvious, the
Yeah.
algorithm was picking up pet beds instead. So make a few adjustments, and you could start selling. Now the other thing about Amazon, or sorry, at Walmart, is that they have
Mhm.
this product listing optimization score, and you can
Okay.
go in, you can launch your product, and all of a sudden you can see like if you're getting a 30% optimized, and they'll tell you exactly what to do. You need to do this, okay, and just by following what they're asking for, you can get a much higher optimization. Now the one thing on Walmart that you can't do, don't even think about doing, there's
Mhm.
a few things. Number one is, do not copy your Amazon listing. Walmart will not like that. Don't copy it
Okay.
word for word. The other thing is, never, ever drop ship anything from Amazon over to Walmart. You will have your account suspended immediately. So, those are just a couple of tips. And they're PPC now. They used to have
Mhm.
it where the bid system would take your bid at what you're bidding. So
Okay.
now they're finally going to the same sort of system that Amazon has, where if you're bidding $20 and the bid is $5, you're going to pay $5.01, not $20.
Okay. That is cool, I think. So they're catching up with Amazon very fast.
I saw a chart. Um,
Mhm.
I can share it, but I saw a chart the other day where it was pretty consistent over the last 2 years. Sellers coming on every month to Walmart. So if you look at it, it's kind of like a plateau. There might be a little bump, plateau, a little bump, a little bump. All of a sudden, this this month, last month, whew, it's a huge. Because they implemented this new
Okay.
process. It's like 10 times the amount of people that came through in 1 month. Like the graph was crazy.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Amazon product launches now. So what we believe is there was a time where we call it Amazon sellers in 2017-18. Now again, after changes, Amazon Seller 2.0. Now a lot of changes have been released, like Amazon releasing data over data. It looks like they are insecure a lot now, so they're releasing their internal data a lot, like search query frequency, that performance report, all those kind of things. Now it is the era of Amazon Seller 3.0, where it will be much more data driven and everything will be decided on data. We remember a launch that we did recently, and you talk a lot about Google Ads SEO. So what we did was we launched through that. There is a software AMPT. So through Google Ads, driving traffic to brand referral bonus URL. And again, we did another thing is creating a store page specifically for only one product, so that there is no such distraction of other product ads and all. That was a good launch. Now we want to know more about how do you structure Google Ads together with the launch, because you have been talking a lot about that in your past few videos.
Well, with Google Ads, and I'm not the expert at it. There's a person and this is really important for everybody to know. First of all, I will not talk about something and just say, "Oh, do this, do that," when I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. But this is very important. So one of the things that I've done over the years is everybody that we hire, whether it's
Mhm.
it might be somebody that's grading copy or with Google or whatever we're doing, we try to find somebody that's an expert. Because if you're hiring a VA,
Hmm.
most people, I don't know about you, but when I first started working with VAs, all of a sudden you think they're this magical unicorn that can do everything, that they're an expert in everything, and they're not.
Yeah.
So this comes back to your question about Google Ads. Yes, do we do it? Yes. Do they perform? Yes. These are like right now, it's a great way to drive traffic over to your listings. And I'm just not the person that do it. I do know the guys over at Amped, and it's a great company. And what I like about it is you can use it yourself, or you can get it done for you very cheap. And why
Yeah.
not? Why do it yourself when you can have somebody do it that's an expert? Now you might want to save a few bucks, especially if you're newer. But that's something that I would take a look at. Another thing that people are not talking about. So I had Goer Chadre on my podcast just recently, and he blew everybody away. First of all, I asked him on because I saw him at an event here in Toronto talking about Twitter ads. I'm like, Twitter
Okay.
ads? Who does Twitter
Yeah.
ads? And he showed some data that blew me away. First of all, the cost. Second of all, the results. And I went, wow, we got to start looking at Twitter. Then he came on and he started saying, well, I'm going to give you a secret. I don't tell anybody this, but I'm going to share this. He says, I go onto Pinterest. I post. Now, if you have to fit within the Pinterest demographic, but I post 5 to 10 times a day. So where does he get this content? I asked him this, and so what he'll do is he'll go and get user-generated content, or he'll get videos, and he takes, like we do this as well. In a video, you have a video for a minute talking about your product. You can go in there and take screenshots, and all of a sudden you've got, for that one video, 10 different images. Also with your products, you can take product photography and just put either stock photography, and I would suggest going to Unsplash, really high quality photos, but you can put your product or whatever you're packaging onto that photo, and you could do Amazon posts. You can take those Amazon post images or the Facebook images, any type of images that you might want to repurpose, put them onto Pinterest. Now, here's the thing about Pinterest. Pinterest links never go away. Never, ever go away. And if you do it, like he showed us an example. He did 5 to 10 every day. Pinterest recommends 20 pins or repins a day, 20. But if you do that, he showed where he got, it was either 5,000, but I believe it was 20,000 unique visitors to his website within a 30-day period. 30 days. So it's not like, for me, this is going to Shopify, not to Amazon, but you can do it that way.
Okay. And you're talking about Amazon posts. So what should be the right approach of using it?
Oh, now you're hitting a hot topic. So
Yeah.
this is something I know and I love. I live with Amazon posts. So I love hearing people on podcasts or like just on YouTube saying they don't work. Well, then they're not doing it right, because Sumner Hobart is a guy that I really respect, and he did it. And actually, he said he saw me talking about it, and he tried to do it, and he said it didn't work. He actually came on and said, "Oh, it's not working," until he checked the results about 6 months later, and it was like,
okay.
So what I love about Amazon posts is, first, get an account. Secondly, you need to get content. What type of content do you need? It could be your polished images, like your product shots, benefits, features, ingredients, lifestyle. You could go out and try to get influencer campaigns. You could go to a company called Billo, Billo.
Okay.
And they have very inexpensive videos for unboxing, testimonials, anything that you need, like how-to videos. And the night is like a press release. You can tell them what
Mhm.
you're looking for them to talk about, and then they'll take it and talk about it. It's not expensive at all, and so you get these really high quality videos that look like they're from influencers that you can splice and dice and do whatever you want with them. And now you've got that content for your Amazon posts. So the other thing is, it's not just an image. People go, so we have this high end knife that we market, and
Mhm.
people
Yep.
go, like, we'll go out and try to look outside of it's an Amazon product. Well, what is it? It's a high end chef knife. Okay, well, let's get chefs to create a recipe, and we'll start posting recipes on Amazon Post so people
Mhm.
see this chef with creating the recipe, and we have up to 2,000 characters. So now it's not just because it's a post with a picture of some guy holding a knife, big whoop. It's a recipe. People want recipes. And oh, by the
Yeah.
way, there is a cookbook. So when they click through the post,
Mhm.
they'll see that there's a free cookbook, like a really high end cookbook, and there's 52 weeks of meal planning. So
Wow.
if you're doing something like a post, try to think outside the box. You know, you can go to, like, let's say it's a kitchen accessory of some sort. You can go to a culinary school and say, hey, how would you like to use my products? You know, maybe it's plates, the way they plate the dish. Well, use my product. I'm going to supply the whole school with plates, like the kitchen, you know, or whatever it is. And now they have to give you graduation photos holding their plate, you know, or holding their kitchen, you said, their silicon spatula, whatever. You just think outside the box. And the people that think outside the box are the people that are going to get that much more sales. And then going back to posts, if you continue to post, especially if you're in a category that has no posts or very little competitors doing it,
Yeah.
man, you clean up. You you have a brand feed that you can promote externally, so you can drive traffic
Mhm.
over to your brand feed. They're available on your storefront. They're available on under related posts. Like if you go down
Post. Yeah.
the page, you can see. If you hit the logo, you're going to see that
Mhm.
competitors carousel. If you hit the image, you're going to see all the competitors, and you can just pick which one that you like. When you click on it, Amazon's made it very tough to buy. You have to do 4 to 5 clicks. You see the post, you either, the first click is going to be logo or image. You click on the image, it's going to be, okay, wow, this is, it's a drop down, or sorry, it's an image that also has the categories. And then
Okay.
you're going to hit the summary, the shoppable summary. Then
Mhm.
you're going to go to the listing, and then you're going to buy. So if you're into ecom, one of the first things you learn is every time somebody clicks off, you lose traffic, probably
Yeah.
50% plus traffic. What does that mean? That the people that end up on your listing, so if you get your reports, you're looking at your reports and you see that you've got 100 clicks, those are 100 people who are captivated, you know, with your product and your conversion rate. Do this as a challenge. Take a look at your average conversion rate right now. Start putting out
Mhm.
posts and see if your conversion rate has a bump. And it will have a bump. You'll see it. We've done it. We've done this with that knife company, with a bunch of other products, and we've seen an increase. And it could be anywhere from 5, 10. It can even be much higher than that. I know that with the particular product we were talking about, we were in a 20 something percent range, and we actually got it over
Okay.
30. Now, do we have proof that it was the posts? No, but we do know that we had a ton of clicks. And matter of fact, our average with this company was 20,000 impressions, 20,000 impressions per post. And one of them had 200,000 impressions. Now, that goes back to 2000. 2020, I believe, maybe 2000, late 2019, and it's a lot more competitive now. But even now, do it and then repurpose it. Go to Pinterest, put it there. Go wherever you have social media, put it there. Repurposing is everything. So if you're paying for all this stuff, use it and use it multiple times.
Yeah, I think it's all about omnipresence. How many times you can show your brand name to the customer, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so again, coming back to it, you talked about providing cookbooks through your contents and all. I mean, I've been looking at your content, and it looks like you are all into making the product more premium. So also, I saw your video on packaging.
Oh yeah.
So would you like to share some small tips on packaging, how we can segment it on the premium side?
Sure. So one of the things that I look at, and any of the listeners can go out and they can start
Mhm.
looking at 3 tiers. So this is
Okay.
just something I noticed just playing around and doing a lot of research, is that
Mhm.
every single product, I don't care what it is, every single product has 3 pricing tiers. You've got the people. Usually, people will say these are the Chinese manufacturers, but these are the ones that are the very lowest, low quality, have lots of volume, but make no money. I call that product cannibalization. I don't want anything to do with it. And in fact, Amazon sellers don't want anything, or buyers don't want anything to do with it. Like if I'm buying for my baby, and believe me, I don't have babies, but if I'm buying for kids, if I'm buying for pets, I want quality. And something that's really cheap, I'm not even going to look at. Hey, who's going to buy
Yeah.
something horrible for their pet? They're going to buy something at least mid to high range. So you've got that lower tier. So let's talk about knives. So there are knives that are selling. So we have this knife that's a $16 knife. Unfortunately, that's the cost of goods. Unfortunately, when it comes out, it's also with all these like very inexpensive knives. So you have to compete with all these very inexpensive knives that are out there that you can get for $3. How do you do it? Well, the first layer of these $16 knives, they range from $49, they range from $34 up to
Mhm.
around a $50 mark. Now
Wow.
you have to take a look at the crappy ones, like the ones I'm talking about. There are ones that are, you'll see, that are under $15 up to
Mhm.
$24. Wrong product. So you have to compare those pricing tiers. So some people get confused with that and say, "Oh, these are $19 knives." No, they're not. These are made from a certain type of steel. This is made from Damascus steel. So when you take a look at the pricing tier, let's say that it goes from the price I just mentioned for that first tier. And the second tier, and this is true. So this is a true case study. I noticed that there was a tier that was almost close to $100. So around $89, you could get up to around $149. And so, okay, very good. And then this blew me away. The same Damascus knife was up at around, and I'm guessing here, I think it was under $200, but let's say it was $175, up to $400. So what does that tell me? First of all, the person that I was advising, I said, you're coming out at $49. That's the lowest tier for this. You've got really bad packaging. Let's change around the packaging and get you, instead of a clamshell packaging, which is a plastic with cardboard in the back, it looks horrible. And he had a really great knife. Let's change it into an outer box, almost like an iPhone box. Put an
Wow.
inside box, and then when they take it out, you kind of open up the product and unveil it. It sounds,
Okay.
it sounds a little weird, but it's really sexy. If you can take a knife and you can turn it into this thing that people are, first of all, anticipating because it's so well packaged. They get a second package. It's like, oh, here we go again. And there's this beautiful knife, and you don't even show the knife. You have a welcome message, but you have a cover over top of it. So they actually have to peel that back, and there it is in some EVA foam. So what did that allow us to do? We were able to bring that price up to $89. Well, actually, we started $69, $79, $89, $99. We went up to $124. And that same $16 knife was selling and has the same traffic. And we ended up between 99 and 124 to this day, and that was a couple years back. So he could have made the $16 to $49 spread, but now he's made this huge spread up to $124. So then go back to the drawing board. What can we do to increase that price? So we didn't want to sell the exact same knife. We went to the manufacturer, so talked to your manufacturer, came up with a price that we hammered the Damascus steel and put it in a wood box. So now this product, we had a white box for the one, we have a black box for the other. So this is our premium edition, and that one comes out at $224. It's the same $16 knife. It's a few dollars difference in packaging. Like really, it's $3 difference in packaging.
Are those attached in a parentage or separate?
No, they're separate, but we do have a variety of different bundles. So with the we have all sorts of knives. So we have our bread knife, paring knife, and we add value with whatever we're like, depending on what you're doing. So if you want the full kitchen set, it's available. If you want this knife and you want a $30 add-on for free, the paring knife, which only costs us a couple bucks, it's there. It's added value. So we'll put together like sort of virtual bundles that make sense for people that, hey, I want the Damascus knife, I can't afford it. Like the high-end one. Okay, let's go with the lower-end one. Can't afford that? Well, here's the other steel multi-purpose knife. Oh, by the way, we also have a full line that of the paring knife and the bread knife, and people like this is how we're expanding the brand for this brand. And that's a whole other part to this too, is with perceived value when you're growing, it's not just packaging. It's all the small things you do, customer service, or it could be that insert when they're driving over to your website. What are you providing? What added value? We're providing an absolutely beautiful 52-week eating plan showing using the knife. We have videos. We have two. It's not one, it is two really high quality cookbooks. We've got chefs that are providing us and tagging us on our social media and their social media. So we're really going out after the influencers, and that's how you build perceived value, is the quality, the authority. When somebody types in this brand, what does it look like on Google? So all of a sudden they see that it's really a great looking product, and that it's been maybe on TV shows, or it's been on networks or media has covered it, press releases, or it could just be really high quality blog articles on your website. So whatever I do, whenever I'm looking at a brand, one of the first things that you can do is make sure that you can go wide. You just don't want to have, oh, I'm doing dog beds and toothpaste. It won't ever work unless the dog beds may have a cover or may have something, and you have a deodorizer. So that goes hand in hand, and that's a perfect add-on value. People love that.
Yeah. I mean, we have a couple of more questions since we are coming to an end. I mean, this question, I think you are going to love this because it is on SEO. So this can be a little bit controversial as well. Short title versus long title, keyword rich
Oh my
long
God,
title.
don't do this to me. Okay, so I'm all over the map. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing right now, and I'm going to have everybody scream and yell at me. But going back to when I started, we were always taught to maximize and keyword stuff the title. I mean, that was part of the training. And this is
Yeah.
back in 2014. You know, this is what you need to do. And it worked. And it was very easy. You just keyword stuffed everything, the bullets, the everything. And then actually, I talked to a buddy of mine at a conference once, and I said,
Mhm.
I played around with this listing, and I only did like an 80 character title, and it ranked
Okay.
very
Wow.
quickly. And then it was I was starting like I had to test it, and then I tested it and rewrote some of our listings, and they were ranking with these small titles. Oh, it opened my eyes up. Then we started to look at, okay, mobile was really becoming the search feature. So the majority of people were looking at mobile. Well, what happens with if we shorten that up and make it really engaging rather than really long and nobody's going to read it? Okay, we did that. People liked it. Amazon liked it. We got ranks. We were ranking again. But then it started to turn around. Like I started to see a lull, and always exploring. Like we always want to see, like you know, with the brand new reporting, we're always checking that out now and seeing how we can weave things in. I heard Stephen Pope talk, and he came on the podcast, and he was talking about his, and I'm sitting there going, there's no way you'll get so banned. And then I said, Vandana is my right arm when it comes to senior project management. And I said, okay, why don't we let's talk to Stephen. Let's see what we can do with our listings. And we did, and we got results. But we changed it a bit. So what I am doing right now is I am creating crazy long titles. I have a bunch of keywords, but I also make sure this is a little bit different. This is a hybrid model. It's engaging. So I will put keyword phrase, and then make it sound really engaging. Like, you know, it might be infused with the blah, 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 blah of lavender. Walking through, you imagine yourself walking through, and it's working. So full out, go 249 characters. We actually go more than that, and then we drop it back after the 30 days. Full out, as many characters as you can in your bullets. Make sure that you're like we've always done this. We like having benefits up front. And it's always worked. Benefits up front. What's the pain point that you're solving, and then go into it. I always like the fifth bullet point. Some people put like a foreign language there. I put that in the back end, but I put a what we believe in. So our company believes. So for us, we say we believe that every human being should have the access to fresh, clean water, and we talk about how much we give back. So being able to talk about what your company believes in that bullet point, people like that. It doesn't have to be long; it can be short. And where the magic is happening, what search terms, making sure that you fill in your flat files properly. But we've been doing this for a year and a half, is taking every image on your A+ pages and putting in metadata, which is just your keyword tags, when you go to edit. And you could do foreign languages, misspells, you could put in a ton of other keywords to get indexed. And then we try to target when we launch. Like we're launching today 10 products. So
Okay.
this morning, like this afternoon, I've just got pictures over. I got another monitor, but I just went through the product primaries that we're going to be split testing. But we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna monitor it. We're gonna see how many of those keywords are going to be indexed. The most important thing that you can do between now and the next 30 days is monitor indexing, monitor your keywords, and also make sure you're doing something with PPC. So for me, it would be, just a simple automatic campaign, and then when we for a lot of people will say I'll do automatic campaign and exact phrase. We could do that, but typically we'll just run the automatic campaign, and after 2 weeks to 4 weeks, we get the data, we see what's converting, and then that's where we throw the exact match in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And also in terms of foreign languages that you're talking about, we also put foreign languages in the alt text of A plus content, the one you were also talking about. The last podcast, I remember we talked with Stephen Pope on this question as well. Question and answer section. People put question and answer section keywords in there. What we have also observed is the exact questions also get indexed in Google's algorithm.
Right.
So, what is your point of view on this part, like question answer? How, because sellers are going to sellers are missing out on this.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of sellers don't even use this particularly.
Excuse me, I have to have my Coke Zero. so anyways, yeah, absolutely. With all 10 products that we have right now, we have between 5 and 10 questions. So some are standard questions to the product, some are unique. So let's say you're doing candles and there's different scents. Well, you have the kind of a standard answer, and then you'll have your one specific to the scent. So for us, for example, this is these are real questions that I've just approved. Is we have 5 for a specific scent. We have 5 that are going to be sort of a generic question, and they are keyword rich. So they're keyword rich in the question that we are going to just have people ask, and we are keyword rich in the response that we're going to have. And yes, they are indexable, just like your A+ is indexable. I still even do a product description. So your 2,000 character product description, I still write that out and I still put that into the back end. And who knows? One of the other things I try to do, so if we're looking strictly at optimization, is that you want to either have a exclusive Prime discount coupon or a digital coupon. I drop the price at least 20% on launch. I just want to get some velocity going. I drive external traffic too. I don't want it just to be PPC. The other thing is pricing optimization. Where is the right price point for you? So that price point when you're coming out, plus the discount that you're giving. Then you look at frequently bought together. Do you have other products that you can get a few people to buy? I mean, it could be one. If you have 4 products and get somebody to buy 2 and get another one to buy 3, it might be just 1 or 2 people a month that do it, and all of a sudden you're frequently bought together. That's something that's that's big for us as well, just making sure that we own that. And we do all the time. We can own that all the time. It's very easy to do. So that's another thing that we take into consideration. And we also do coupon stacks. So coupon stacks, we'll do one if it's across our entire catalog, or let's say it's a candle holder or it's a candle, you might have it with your candle holder. So it just makes sense that, we're going to give 5% or 10% off. The other thing that's really important is multi-tier pricing, or getting B2B. So getting B2B central and start adding those. There's a lot of business accounts out there.
Yep.
So these are all things that we try to do. And it sounds like a lot, but make sure you get posts. Have 10 posts. So when you're ready, post 10 items and have a store. So you can start driving traffic over to your storefront, and you'll start to build the following. And if you want, you can either have an Amazon influencer do something for you, or you can just turn on your iPhone, download Creator, and start talking about your product. And I will be doing that with this new product. So I'm going to try to see what it's like for me to go out there and just say, hey, I want to talk to you about this product that we just brought out to the marketplace. And, just to see the market reaction and to start getting some followers.
Yeah. I mean, that will be great. So, Norm, that was really awesome show. I mean, we got a lot of answers, a lot of tips today. I mean, we are full today, a lot of tips. So, I think that was really beneficial for the audience that are going to see it. Do you have anything that you want to share to our audience?
Look, just, be resilient. Amazon's going to throw some curveballs. Just keep working through it. If you get a really bad email, don't give up. And sometimes your success is just around the corner. And also, this is an expression, I don't even know where I heard it, but don't be a one-legged stool. If you are, and Amazon, something happens to your account, you'll be left empty. So I would look at creating a Shopify store, going to Walmart. Here's one of the biggest tips I can give you right now. One of the things that we explored this year is something that's so old school. I'm an old guy, but I remember I used to walk into stores and buy things. Don't forget about retail. So like for us, we've been exploring and talking to retail buyers, and this is a whole other, if you ever wanted me to come back and talk, I have become, I don't want to say an expert in it, but I can get into retail stores, and I have a formula, and I have a system that I use to get into buyers on retail stores, and it works. It could be either small mom and pop shops, or it could be a large store like Costco or TJ Maxx or whatever. Again, that's just another avenue for you. It's another cost center, by the way. You have to be careful there because you have to have some capital behind you to purchase the product and wait. And a lot of them you can wait 30, 60, 90 days. But that's my final tip.
Wow, that was great. So, Norm, where can people follow you?
Well, if you take a look at either Norm Farrar or Lunch with Norm, if you type that in on the search in Google, you'll see a bunch of different social media that comes up. If you want more information, what I spend a lot of time is on the podcast and developing the podcast. It's Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm podcast, and we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. And if you can't catch it during that time, we have it on YouTube or any podcast platform that you listen to.
Wow. Thank you so much, Norm, for coming. We'll again bring you on another episode to talk more about Amazon.
Thank
you so much.
You're very welcome.
Okay.